The following program is intended for mature audiences.
A democratic republic of sports. The Sportsocracy with ESPN Asheville hosts Tank Spencer and Jeremy Greene.
And welcome into the Sportsocracy. It is Wednesday morning. That means it's power ranking time in the NFL. I'm Tank Spencer. Jeremy Greene is alongside. We are live in the Wicked Weed studio. WickedWeedBrewing.com. Drink different. We've got a giveaway today. We got to give away the day. Look, sometimes you have powerful friends, and when those powerful friends reach out and say, hey, I need a little bit of help getting rid of some tickets, we're going to help those powerful friends out.
That.
That's right. And the powerful friend, in this case, it's Patrick Holt. Patrick Holt said he bought ACC championship tickets and cannot go or will not go because his Wolfpack is not in the championship game.
I am out in protest, and I'm fine with that.
So, if you want to see Wake Forest and Pittsburgh live in the ACC championship game, oh, God, it hadn't really sunk in on me that that's the ACC championship this year until I just said it.
See, there's a part of me, like, if we could get on if I could get to press level and actually, like, scout Kenny Pickett in the building, I'd totally go.
Right.
The only problem is I can't.
Nope.
After he asked this yesterday, I asked. And you know what I got told? Fuck you.
You what? 3 days before the game, you want me to shuffle around all our press passes? Yeah, that's not going to happen.
That's not going to happen. You ain't got it like that there, Brody, man.
So, Jeremy, being the spur-of-the-moment marketing guy that he is, he's come up with a way that we're going to give away these tickets today. So, 2 tickets to the ACC Championship game this Saturday night, 8 o'clock in Bank of America Stadium. Wake Forest Demon Deacons, Pittsburgh Panthers. It's going to be amazing. Yeah, you can have tickets.
Yep.
I gave it as much as I could give it. That's all the excitement I can muster.
I would love to go.
Wake Forest and Pittsburgh.
I would personally love to go.
I would go. I keep telling him, like, hey, we could just keep these tickets, and I will tell my family to go pound sand, and we will go.
And here's the thing. I'm a house cat. We have all been over this, all right? So you open the door, and, Fluffy here trots out. I'm going to get eaten by a bear in no time.
Right.
I don't know where my fancy feast is coming from.
So Jeremy's going to put together the graphic, everything, have it out on social media of
It'll be right after the show.
How you can get involved or how you can enter into the contest. These will be transferable tickets electronically. They have to be done by 5 o'clock today. So if you have interest, just shout us out and let us know.
Adam Black, you're the first one to catch this. You got to turn the board back up.
That's great. 2 points.
So that is our new scoring noise. The open cash register. So Adam Black is officially on the board. We are back to scoring comments. Not so fast, my friend.
Oh yeah, and thanks to Kevin Vick for pointing out to us that yes, Nintendo has registered the trademark for the coin noise, so we didn't get dinged on that.
I downloaded it and everything.
Yeah,
and now I'm just looking at it on the board like I want to hit it. I want to hit it.
I don't think there would be immediate litigation, but it could be future litigation once that trademark is approved. So we're just
as many times as we fully plan on hitting this button. Yeah,
100%. Anyway, welcome into the program. So it's basically just online comment of the day. How are we doing this? You didn't explain it.
Subscribers and all the things.
Okay. Wonderfully put.
We'll put it out after the show.
If you have not already, do subscribe to the channel. That's the way you get into the chat. Share this out with your friends as well. Tell them, join this show because sometimes they have cool shit to give away. And tell them to subscribe, tell them to join the House of Reprehensibles and all that jazz. All right, so week 13. We are a dozen weeks into the NFL season, and the power rankings shaking out thusly.
And by the way, I have to say this, just in case you weren't here for when we announced this, we're going back to scoring comments every time you hear the somebody just scored. And Adam Black, you're already on the board.
It's like It's a Wonderful Life. Every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings.
Oh, yeah. I've rephrased that a bunch of times in my life.
So every time the cash register rings, you get some points.
Every time the song ends at a strip club, someone loses their innocence.
Yeah. Been there.
Cheese my cherry pie. Boop, 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 boop.
All right, the bottom turds, or third, or how do we want to say it, of the NFL?
The shitty 10.
Yeah.
We call them if you were not here last week, there is that's our power rankings.
Now I like
week.
the bottom turds. Now I want that to be the bottom turd of the league.
The bottom turd. All right, that was last week's power rankings. We're on to week 13, and here are your worst 10 teams in the NFL. Number 32, the Jacksonville Jaguar. Wrong team.
No.
I totally forgot the Lions were in the league. I just mentally checked out on that team.
Well, it's not hard to do that with a team that has not won a game since, I don't know, the Trump administration.
That's actually accurate.
It is accurate.
That holds water.
It is. Detroit Lions at number 32. They play hard. And they got DeAndre Swift, and I think we can move on.
In the immortal words of one Mr. Brandon Fraser, you want to play good, you try to play good, but we don't play very good.
Number 31, Jacksonville Jaguars.
Oh, damn, you just went all the way
I
off.
thought you only wanted to spend like a minute or two.
Well, and I do, but I'm trying to say, look, I'm in
He does this thing where he goes, we're only going to spend a minute or two on each team. And then when I try to slough off of it, you go, oh, wait. No, I have to say one more time how much I believe in the future of this team.
No, I wasn't going to say that, dick. I'm going to say, hey, you got a couple young guys that play pretty well.
Yep.
You got a couple pieces. Mm-hmm. It's not good. You're not good. You're not going to be good. And you have a coach that's a fucking lunatic. You ever look at Dan Campbell and just go, you could have had a very lucrative career, like selling cars.
Refereeing WWE.
Refereeing high school or coaching high school wrestling. He looks like a wrestling coach. Get in there, right deep. The hell did you just say to me? He looks like a guy that would use the phrase, get in there real deep.
No, that's Deshaun Watson.
Well, we're off to a good start today, aren't we?
Yeah. Jacksonville Jaguars at number 31. Look, I know it's not been a good year for Trevor Lawrence, but we still believe in the talent. Like I said yesterday, he ran for 17 yards in this last game, so, they could do that a lot more. I saw somebody say that this week, and I went, that's the dumbest thing I think I've ever heard. You can tell Trevor Lawrence is growing because he runs the ball really well. He ran for 17 yards in his last game. How is that running the ball really well?
Who the fuck cares?
Exactly.
Look, Trevor Lawrence didn't poop in his pants. I feel like Jacksonville at this point, they're looking for participation trophies in the wrong place.
Yeah.
Do you ever read their beat writers?
No.
They always look for, I can't remember the guy at ESPN's name, but he always tries to find 3 good takeaways. And as the season's gotten further and further along, he's like, everybody put their jerseys on the right direction. Nobody forgot their belt.
I mean, there's not a lot to be happy about with this team. I feel like everybody in Jacksonville should be, not saying they are, but they should be sitting here going, God, please let Notre Dame just drop $200 million on Urban Meyer. Get him out of here. It's not going to happen.
But on the bright side, Urban did say, I have not considered taking the Notre Dame job.
Which is a lie. That's what a lie sounds like.
That's kind of like
that's what a bear sounds like. That's a bare-faced lie.
Yeah. Hey, Urban Meyer's sitting at home going, Notre Dame. I could do that. Mm-hmm. By the way, Adam Black said, Campbell walks around the facility naked. That's 2. Adam Black's off to a good start.
Matt Campbell?
Yeah. No.
Oh, Dan Campbell. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, he lets that thing swing. He's just like
a hammer hanging.
Yeah, he just wants to let everybody know who really is the big dick in this locker room.
Did he challenges people like, you think yours is bigger?
You want to wrestle?
It up here. I got a ruler with no leading edge. I mean, I don't even take the 3 free centimeters that ruler companies give you. I don't need it.
just got this mental image of Dan Campbell walking around the locker room with that racing helmet on. Like, who wants to fight?
With 2 beers in it and the straw. Just drinking 2 Busch Lights.
He is
out
the
of
funnest coach in the NFL.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Funnest. Have we ever maintained it? Is funnest a word?
No.
I don't feel like funnest is a word.
No, but it's funnest to say.
Patrick Holt. Solely because he is the first person other than me I have ever heard use that phrase. Look like a baby's arm holding an apple. That thing's impressive.
Right.
Oh, that guy's here. I love when we go completely off the rails talking about the bottom 10 teams.
This is how it happens. This is how the power rankings turn into 2 episodes.
Yeah, this is how we wind up with a 2-parter power rankings, or by the end of it, I need nicotine so bad that I'm looking at my pack just going, I could eat that. I could just eat it.
The Jacksonville Jaguars suck. That's why they're 31. Your Houston Texans come in at number 30. I'm glad we're in lockstep on this one because you had to move the Jets up in the power rankings after they beat the Houston Texans.
J-E-S-T, just. We suck.
Yeah,
but
you do.
You know who we suck less than?
The
Houston Texans. You remember that thing that you say about, Tyrod Taylor, they compete?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're at 14-3. And you know what happened from there? It was like David Culley went, whoa.
What are we doing?
What are we fucking doing? Okay, we're going to screw around and win this game.
Things are bad in Houston.
And there's really not much for me to say. Like, I can't even go to a player and go, well, at least you have that guy.
Right.
I don't have one of those.
You didn't have the New York Jets next on your list, though.
No, sir.
It's the Seattle Seahawks. Did I see that right? Is that who's next? Yeah. Okay. We're flipped on this. I've got the Seahawks ahead of the Jets, and that is wrong. I'm going to say it flat out. It's wrong. That I have the Seahawks ahead of the Jets in the power rankings.
The Seahawks are terrible.
They are awful.
I would be remiss if I didn't point this out. Legally, I am contractually obligated to, anytime the Seattle Seahawks come up, I have to look at that camera and go, thank you. Thank you for that wonderful draft pick that's going to turn into a franchise player for us.
Yep.
Sounds terrible. I could argue they're, at this point, the worst team in the NFL.
It's not far off.
The stat that I told you yesterday on the ESPN show, still the most mind-boggling thing I've ever heard. Do you realize they average possessing the ball for 24 minutes a game? That's for the whole year.
Yeah.
That's dumbfounding to me. But that's what happens when you can't run a greasy peg up a cat's ass and you got Russell that's hurt, and it just looks like everybody on the team's quit.
Yeah.
Except Jamal Adams, who really likes to yell at people and go, you should play better. Wait, who's going to tell him?
Look in the mirror.
This is a mirror. Have you ever seen one of those? Because I don't believe that you have.
I don't think Russ is all that hurt. I mean, emotionally, he may be emotionally scarred from how this season has gone, but he's also in a position where, why do I care? I mean, his timing's just off. I haven't look. I'm not the evaluator. That's Jeremy's job. But I don't see that he's completely limited by the finger or anything like that. He looks fine. It's just very lackadaisical. He's missing easy throws that he used to make, and part of me thinks he's just checked out, and he knows this is the end.
Oh, he knows this is the end.
Right.
This is all right. We're officially to that point where you remember The Office when they brought in Robert California. That's
great.
where we're at.
Great episodes.
We're officially to the point of, okay, this is over. Like, okay, with Steve Carell, this was funny. And now we have James Spader, who I still maintain has the greatest voice on the planet.
He does.
It's better than Morgan Freeman. That's how good. If I could change the voice in my head to anyone, it would be James Spader.
Mm-hmm.
I could change the voice in my head to Morgan Freeman, and I won't. That was the last time I saw Andy Dufresne. Man that climbed through a mile of filth, came out clean on the other side.
He loves doing that. That's by the way why I love our over the moon cleaning spot so much, because you could tell at the beginning of it when he's reading the Christmas Carol or whatever the hell it is.
You'll never be able to unhear this.
Oh yeah. The stockings were hung by the chimney with kale.
Literally, just imagine my fat ass impersonating Morgan Freeman. in hopes that
because
St. Nicholas soon would be there.
before we cut that spot, he had kept doing it over and over and over again. And when it actually came time for him to do the read, he couldn't stop doing it.
I couldn't. It's everything
we
I
did
said.
it 3 times, and he still couldn't do it.
I literally stopped at McDonald's on the way home. And was like, I'll take 2 McRibs, extra pickle, extra onion.
The stockings will hung by the chimney with kale.
You'll never unhear it. If you listen to the afternoon show, you'll hear that forever. By the way, Jason Trump, Kevin Vick, and Patrick Holt.
Yep.
All on board.
Okay. You gonna read the comments or?
Nope.
Okay. Good for you guys. Way to get points.
I mean, everybody can see the chat. I don't have to.
I can't.
Well, you know. This one does.
I have no idea why you guys are scoring points, but good job. Good job for you.
Go team! Yeah!
Exactly.
Rocky!
And you can put them on the board. The Seattle Seahawks are god awful.
Yep, they suck a bunch.
New York Jets are next. You guys suck too. Look, you need to lose games. Remember, this is 2020 all over again. Stop winning games.
I don't 100% agree with that. You have the quarterback, you have the culture, you've got all the things. Now, that being said, there's not going to be a lot of wins.
Mm-hmm. What's left?
That we play?
Yeah.
We play 2 good teams, and they're both the last 2 weeks of the season. We play the Eagles, the Saints, at the Dolphins, the Jaguars, the Bucks, and at the Bills.
Ooh, that Jaguars game could be big. That could knock you from 5. That could knock you from 5 to 7.
Oh, that Jaguars game will be like somebody ordering you a Fireball in a bar. Like, I mean, it's still alcohol, so I'm going to drink it,
right?
But I'm not like it.
James,
I'll watch it.
James Robinson could tear you up,
and he probably will.
But you better hope he does. Stop winning games. Let's have back-to-back picks in the top 5. Let's secure this thing and go home.
With the Jets, I'm okay with it. You got your quarterback. I am seeing a little bit of growth from Zach Wilson.
Yeah, but the further you get away, you can't have your dynamic duo. If you got 2 in the top 5, you might be able to luck out and get Kayvon Thibodeau / AJ or Adrian Hutchinson. Aiden Hutchinson, thank you.
Kyle Hamilton.
And Kyle Hamilton.
We will wind up with Kyle Hamilton.
One way or the other?
One way or the other.
Okay. Stay in the top 5. Keep losing games. Don't lose sight of the prize like you did in 2020.
Adam Black asked, Jeremy, in your Jets fandom history, what percentage of games have you hoped they lost? 72. That is not a scientific answer, but if anything, I undershot it. Just suck. Like, if you're going to suck.
I feel like I'm at 50 on that one.
Probably.
Just lose.
Probably.
Let's just lose. Let's get the best draft pick we possibly can.
And that doesn't sound as good, and Al Davis didn't say it, but just lose, baby.
Yeah.
Just lose.
Yeah. Yeah, we won't be getting to my team for a while here. So who's next on the...
Good Lord, you insufferable motherfucker.
I just had to throw that in there. Sorry. Not sorry. The New York Jets, the New York Giants, 1 spot ahead of the Jets.
If they played right now,
mm-hmm.
I feel like the Giants would win.
You should.
I do feel like the Giants would win,
mm-hmm.
but it's not like aggressively.
This is where I have the Panthers.
Yeah, a lot of Panthers fans said I had them too high, and I very well may.
Yeah, I have them at 27. This is a listless team. You've just lost Christian McCaffrey. You've seen what bad comes with Cam Newton. You have zero hope for making the playoffs.
We're not to the Panthers yet. We'll talk shit about them when we get to 25.
Sorry. I get sidetracked.
Timestamps become kind of a bitch when we start jumping between teams. I mean, here's the thing. The Giants won a game. Yep. Hey, here's the other negative. Do you realize that we are 36 hours away from a Thursday night football game featuring Taysom Hill and Mike Glennon? Gross.
Yay.
Gross.
Is it the Giants and the who's playing on Thursday?
The Giants and the Saints.
On Thursday?
No, wait a minute.
I thought it was Dallas.
The Cowboys play. Oh, yeah, the Cowboys play. Wait a minute. Who the
Cowboys
Giants
play the Saints.
Oh, shit.
I was wondering where you were going with that. Like, that doesn't make no sense.
Oh, the Giants play the Dolphins. So they got Tua Tagovailoa and Mike Glennon and Taysom Hill against Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
So we took this shitty baby and we split it in half, and we gave everybody.
There you go.
You get a piece, and you get a piece.
Right.
The Giants are bad.
Yeah,
cool. You beat the Eagles 13-7.
Mm-hmm.
Woo. I don't really believe the Giants are going to win another game all year.
They very well may not. The Atlanta Falcons, they're there. It was good to see Cordell Patterson get into the end zone twice this past weekend. But this is a team that just has they don't have the ability to stop teams really on the defensive end.
No, the defense is brutal.
And Kyle Pitts is out there doing stuff, but not enough.
But it's weird how lightly involved he is.
Exactly.
Like, he didn't have a target against Jacksonville until the third quarter.
Mm-hmm.
That's dumbfounding to me. Or maybe he had a target, he just didn't have a catch. And his first catch was in the third quarter.
Yeah.
Who is defending him?
No.
It's just, I don't
here's
understand
the funny thing,
Jacksonville. I'll be honest with you. Jacksonville, you should really wish that Urban Meyer would take the damn Notre Dame job.
But it's at this point in the power rankings where we get to our first playoff picture team in the NFC. The Atlanta Falcons are right in the mix,
Which is disgusting.
right?
They're not right in the mix, by the way.
You realize
They're on the
realize who
graphic
the 7
when they
is?
put
The 7 in the NFC right now is the Washington football team.
yeah, I did know that. I just couldn't remember who it was.
They have as many wins as the Atlanta Falcons do.
Here's the problem with Atlanta. You still have to play the Bucks, the 49ers, the Bills.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there is not a snowball's chance in Atlanta they get past 8 wins. And I don't think 8 and 9's making the playoffs.
No.
There's too many teams that are right there in that same boat.
Oh, yeah. Well, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 teams in the NFC with 5 wins right now, sitting for that spot, fighting for number 7.
Oh, wait a minute. We have a discrepancy on. Oh, yep, Stephen Tao. Stephen Tao scored as well.
Uh-huh.
I didn't notice it until somebody said it in the comments.
Good points for you, Steven.
Yeah. Hey, Texty McTexter.
I was cutting the ringer off.
We're doing some shit
I
here.
heard it from my pocket.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah. Who you want me to keep it on?
No. And don't put it on vibrate either.
It's in my pocket. I always keep it on vibrate.
Sorry.
Yeah, the Giants, you don't have much hope. The Atlanta Falcons, you don't have much hope. The Carolina Panthers at 25.
Speaking of no
You
hope.
don't have much hope. Christian McCaffrey done for the season. Cam Newton's bad. Your offensive line can't block anybody. The defense is still fine.
Yeah, I mean, the defense is
Fine-ish.
good.
Dante Jackson, he's gone.
Which probably helps you more than it hurts you.
I mean, I don't know about that.
He's bad. He is terribly bad at football. Them and the Falcons a week from now will be pseudo-interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Atlanta is absolutely going to just blast them.
I don't know that Atlanta has the power to blast anybody.
How the Kyle Pitts thing. All right, you're either going to stop Kyle Pitts or you're going to stop Cordell Patterson. One of them is going to have a day.
Mm-hmm.
This was one of the hardest ones for me. Which one I had lower, Atlanta or Carolina? And now that I'm looking at it, I think I may have gotten it wrong.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, Carolina
you
should
did.
be behind Atlanta. Just a listless franchise.
Yep.
I'm not taking more victory laps on Carolina. You're going to draft. You draft well. You have 1 first-round pick that you might turn into 3 first and second day picks. I won't be shocked if they do that, by the way.
Just trade down.
Just trade down. Because somebody's going to fall.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing about a draft where there are no quarterbacks, but there are several quarterback-needy teams. Somebody's going to draft a quarterback in the top 10. And by somebody, I mean probably 3 teams. Which means somebody like Aiden Hutchinson or somebody like that's going to fall right in Carolina's lap. And you would be shocked how much they would get
For that.
for a pick like that.
Yeah. With all with the limited amount of true left tackles in the draft, though, we're in lockstep. That's what they need. with that first round pick. I would.
Just
it would kind of surprise me.
Please don't go Evan Neal. That's going to be a guy that I bash all pre-draft process long.
Mm-hmm.
Not because I don't like the kid, but because I see him as a right tackle. You already have one of those. His name's Taylor Moton.
Yep. The Chicago Bears are at 24 this week, and that ranking is really only because Justin Fields has he's coming back at some point from the rib injury.
No, that
with
ranking
Andy
is because look at the teams beneath them.
I was going to say with Andy Dalton though, this team should be lower, in my opinion.
Who are you going to put? Who goes in front of them?
Mm-hmm.
Carolina, Atlanta. No,
I have Atlanta and the Giants ahead of them.
You're drunk on the Giants. I mean, just decite drunk. The Chicago Bears are a bad team, but they're the best of the really bad.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think you shade out of that right here. I just can't get over that. We're not going to fire Matt Nagy in season because we don't do that. Tell me you're a poorly run franchise without telling me you're a poorly run franchise. Ta-da!
Yep.
Yeah, let's keep Matt Nagy around Justin Fields. That's working tremendously.
His best game of the year was when Matt Nagy was away.
Nagy was at home. Yeah. What does that tell you?
Mm-hmm.
Fire him now.
Yep. No hope for the Chicago Bears. But there is a future there. There is a future there. And the New Orleans Saints at number 23, who are also in that 5-win gross 7th spot in the playoff territory right now.
They're a malleable team that could do more things than you think. With Taysom Hill, you're going to... The thing about the offense is the offense becomes much more difficult to deal with.
Mm-hmm. And it's fine for 20 points a game. To average 20 points a game through the rest of the season, I just don't see that translating to a whole lot of wins. They've lost 4 straight, and they got the Jets coming up. I'll give them that one. You beat the Jets, Washington football team, the Giants, Washington football team. Oh, no, wait, that's the wrong one. So Dallas, New York, Tampa, and they got Miami, Carolina, and Atlanta to end the season. They could be 8 wins. Well, I don't see anything higher than that.
No.
8-win team, not going to make the playoffs in the NFC.
Nope.
They may be in contention now, but they ain't going to be for long.
No, I mean, and even if you made the playoffs, you would get just freight trained by whoever you played.
But we beat the Bucks.
In the game James Winston got hurt in.
Yep.
Backup quarterbacks. They're the most popular person on the planet for a reason.
That's why Trevor Siemian held on to the job as long as he did.
Which is still stupid to me.
Because, he came in when Jameis got hurt, led him to the victory over the Buccaneers, and here we sit. They realized it couldn't go on any longer, and they put Taysom Hill in that spot. And we'll see how that goes. I don't like it for him, but Saints are what they are. Best of the worst teams. At number 22,
ta-da!
The Cleveland Browns.
And I think I may be being too nice here.
No, because you have to look at the other teams. Right.
Bad.
You have to look at the other teams. Great, you can run the football. Great, you can play some decent defense sometimes.
You're just so listless offensively. You just played a game where Lamar Jackson turned the ball over 4 times.
You couldn't do anything with it.
And you scored 10 points total.
Mm-hmm.
If you watched that game, it was just absolutely disgusting to watch. You had 262 yards of total offense.
Mm-hmm.
And you say, they can run the ball. They couldn't against Baltimore. And guess what? You're going to see a lot more of that moving forward.
Of them not being able to run the ball?
No, because what are you scared of? Oh, look, Jarvis Landry had 120 yards. Cool. It was the emptiest 120 yards you have ever seen in your life.
Right.
But, moving forward, they play the Raiders, the Ravens, the Raiders, the Packers, at the Steelers, and the Bengals.
Ain't a win in that.
There's not. There is not a win in that. I could easily see this team going 6-11.
Maybe
in
the
Pittsburgh?
Steelers.
You're going to go in Pittsburgh and beat that team.
Probably not.
There you go. Already lost to them once in your place.
Yeah, but to me, that should be the closest one they have.
No doubt. They'll get blown out 3 times.
Right.
The Packers, the Bengals, and, in my opinion, the Raiders will beat them senseless.
Mm-hmm. It's just not there, and guess where you're going to be?
At home with Baker Mayfield. I need a button that says that.
Number 21 in the Week 13 power rankings here in the Sportsocracy. Don't forget to check us out at thesportsocracy.com. We got the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's not going well. We talked about this yesterday when we were playing Bless or Mess on the afternoon show. This team is just bad. Big Ben is bad.
Things are a mess.
Your defense.
It's a mess.
I forgot about the second part of that. Your defense is, you have superstars on that defense. But when you got the biggest ones back, TJ Watt and Minkah Fitzpatrick this past week, it didn't matter. Nothing changed. Is this a team that could pop and they could bust you in the mouth? Sure, sometimes.
There's still a possibility they make the playoffs. It is a faint possibility, but you tap out on Mike Tomlin, you get what you get. The guy's never had a losing season in all the years he's been in Pittsburgh. Am I going to be
you're
shocked?
talking about as a fan.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
No, I'm not talking about as a fan. I'm not a fan of Pittsburgh. Do I absolutely see a path that this team goes 8-8 or 8-1? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do. Who are they going to beat? I don't know. I don't
it's
know.
It's going to be tough.
But I don't want to deal with them. And the colder it gets, if you can't stop them running the ball, Najee Harris is still good, by the way.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of, Najee's so overrated. Shut the fuck up.
They got Baltimore twice, Minnesota, Tennessee, Kansas City, Cleveland. That's not fun. That's not going to be a fun stretch of games.
God, that is brutal.
That Cleveland game might be the last game you win all year.
Oh, by the way, this came up in the chat. Did anybody notice that RG3 has written a book?
Oh, I saw something about that
Surviving
yesterday.
Washington.
Yeah.
You do realize that not 2 months ago, he tweeted out, "I'm only a phone call away," to Washington.
Nice. It's a different culture now, though. Different culture. He's Ron Rivera. I'd rather play for him.
He got absolutely obliterated on social media last night.
As he should.
I mean, obliterated.
Everybody wants to get their piece of the pie somehow. RG3 thinks he can sell some books. Okay. It's fine by me. It doesn't hurt my feelings.
Who's shocked that Tank's reference there was about a piece of pie? Show of hands. Okay.
It has been several days, and this.
Yeah, we've started a new dietary program that you'll find out about soon enough. And Tank,
and it's not near as bad as I let on. It's just funnier this way.
Tank is struggling not having god awful for you food.
Yeah.
Now me, I'm so lazy that just having stuff sitting right here, it's fine. I get to eat candy bars at 4:00 every day. Okay.
Look, it's hanging out with Jeremy for the last 2 years has not done me well because Jeremy's a guy that really loves fast food, and it's easy to fall back into that lifestyle.
I like easy.
Mm-hmm. And
somebody make the joke. I lobbed it out there.
That's why he has so many bar analogies. So anyway, the Washington football team at number 20. They are now the 7 seed in the playoffs. Were the season to end today. It's fun. It's fun for you to be able to claim that for a week.
And here's the thing. I don't think they're as bad as you do. I don't.
Oh, I think.
If you told me that they were the 7th team that made the NFC playoffs, I wouldn't be shocked.
Really?
Nope. Because here's the thing. Here's who it's going to be. All right, I'm looking at the standings as we speak. One of the teams I'm getting ready to say is making the playoffs. There is no way around it. All right, and I've said a lot of things about the Rams until you pointed out to me, who else makes it? Mm-hmm. And that's where this kind of falls apart. One of these teams making the playoffs. The Washington football team, the Minnesota Vikings, the Atlanta Falcons, New Orleans Saints, Philadelphia Eagles, Carolina Panthers.
Yep.
One of those teams is going to make the playoffs. Mm-hmm. I just look at Washington and go, you're not better than Minnesota, but Minnesota's schedule blows. It is aggressively difficult.
Yep.
I wouldn't be shocked if Washington made the playoffs. Now, would they be fodder for either Green Bay or Arizona? Yes, they would.
Like they were fodder for Tampa Bay last year. Fodder in that close-ass game that we had.
That's because your team sucks. The difference between your team and Arizona and Green Bay is
we got a ring.
Suck.
We got a ring. That's
one.
the difference.
You ain't got one. Lucky. Broke watches right twice a day. Blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while.
Mm-hmm. You know, Tom Brady's won 7 of these, right?
Yeah, and one of them for you.
Oh, that's
you don't get to claim the other 6
One
because they didn't have dick to do
one
you.
in 1 year. And we're going for 2.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
Oh, you can lie to yourself all you want to, but it's the truth. The Washington football team, though, I mean, are you still on this Antonio Gibson's bad thing?
I never said he was bad. I said he was hurt. There's a difference. And I'm going to be honest with you. I said this yesterday in the Fantasy Football Show.
Mm-hmm.
I would be getting rid of Antonio Gibson right now.
Right.
How many touches did he have in that game? 32?
Something like that.
I'm out. A guy that had stress fracture issues just a couple weeks ago, yeah, I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
But he is a talented player.
Yes, he is.
I never liked the body build. And there are, I mean, with him with the ball in his hand, he's a very good player.
Yep.
Stephen Tao.
But still, you got 2.
And his, I have to say out loud, I haven't been back to Taco Bell since they got rid of the Mexican pizza. Yeah, Taco Bell! You dicks! You have tortillas, you have cheese, you have pizza shit. Do it!
It's hard to make them flat after they're curled already.
I have no clue what was on a Mexican pizza, but it was so good.
It's the same shit that's on everything. What are you talking about?
Shut up. Do not talk shit about my friends, okay?
I'm not. The Mexican pizza was one of my favorites. You still go to Taco Bell. Nobody stopped going to Taco Bell.
Stephen Tao did.
Yeah, he's lying.
I don't think he is.
He's lying.
You know what? He's a principled man, and I appreciate that.
2 o'clock in the morning, you get a hankering for a chalupa. Damn it, I'm going to Taco Bell. I don't give a shit that they got rid of the Mexican pizza.
Well, look at him and look at you. Who's surprised?
Well, this is very true.
Hey, you know what? Me.
You. Points. I see 2 wins left on the Washington football team schedule. 7 wins ain't going to get you into the playoffs. I don't think you're beating Las Vegas, Dallas, Philly, Dallas. You got Philly and New York at home at the end of the season. Yay, we can get to 7.
I have one daily joy. Sorry. I just realized
share that sip with us. Nice. Very nice.
It's nice. I like.
At number 19, the Week 13 Power Rankings, the Denver Broncos.
The Denver Broncos.
I don't have them too far from the Cleveland Browns as you do here. I've actually got them ranked together in my Power Rankings because these are 2 teams that I look at and I go, you know, if things were different.
But they're not. Here's the thing. Ask yourself this question and answer it honestly. Who would you rather have right now as your quarterback, Teddy Bridgewater or Baker Mayfield?
Teddy Bridgewater.
And it's not close. Like, it's not even vaguely close.
Mm-hmm.
Javonte Williams is really, really, really good at football.
Yes, he is.
There's more weapons there. There's more margin for error there. So.
But you're still not good.
Armchair. She's not here. He said, I said I have one daily joy, and he said as he sits in front of his future wife, she's the only thing that keeps me from being a full-fledged serial killer. So, and she knows that definitively. If that ever comes up at my trial, I'm going to deny that I just said that.
Yeah.
But I meant through the day. She is not here. She is moderating the show from our lovely house.
Yeah. When she's internalizing that, and you'll have to hear about it later. I'm pretty sure. Your daily joy is a bang.
And I said, I meant during the day. I don't see her from 8 o'clock to 7. If the sun is down, that's not day joy.
Armchair Commentary says Denver's about 2 years away from being a contender. I think you're wrong. I think they're 1 year away from being a contender. whatever George Payton can do to get a quarterback this offseason, they could be 1 year away.
Agreed.
They could be a contender at this time next year. We're talking about them in the top 10 of the power rankings.
Oh, absolutely. Aaron Rodgers winds up here, Super Bowl contender.
Yeah.
Immediately. Michael Whiteside.
Yep.
This is still anybody's game today because we have a shitload of people at 1.
Nice. So the Denver Broncos are what they are. Yeah, you can run the ball. Yeah, you can play good defense at times. It's the same thing I said about the Cleveland Browns. That's why I have them paired up in my power rankings. But they're right here in this area. 20 and 21 is where I have them ranked. At number 18 this week, the Miami Dolphins. What a climb it's been for the Dolphins over the last few weeks.
Sports freak Brian Hall told us the Dolphins are going to go undefeated and make the playoffs, and I laughed a lot.
Don't say now you're believing it.
I'm not going to say I'm believing it. Here's what I'm going to say. They don't play anybody good. Their next 3 games are the Giants, the Jets, and the Saints. Have crazier things happened than they play the Titans and the Patriots, who probably have their playoff seeding locked up by then? Mm-hmm. Because there's going to be a huge divide in the AFC. I'm looking at the standings right now. Here lies in the problem. There's the same problem in the AFC that you have in the NFC. The Ravens, Patriots, Titans, Chiefs, Bengals, and Bills are going to make the playoffs. All right, so that's 6 teams I feel really good about. There is one more spot that goes to the Chargers, Broncos, Raiders, Colts, Browns, Steelers, Dolphins. There's going to be a flawed team win this.
And there's one team that is the highest on that pecking order.
Of team?
Yeah.
The Colts. They're the best team in that. It's the Colts and the Raiders. Problem is they both have ugly schedules. The Dolphins don't. The Dolphins are going to cruise to 8 wins.
Okay.
Cruise. And then the question is, what do you play with the Titans and the Patriots? If you're playing against Brian Hoyer and if you gave me
you don't even know.
$100,
you don't even know.
Is it still the Wood Duck or whatever the fuck? What the fuck was his name?
The Wood Duck?
What is it?
Duck Hodges?
No. Duck Hodges is in L.A. What is his damn name? Logan Woodside.
Logan
Woodside. Yeah, if you're playing against him or Kevin Hogan, stranger shit has happened. That's all I'm saying.
Kevin Hogan. Is he related to Hulk Hogan?
Also, Kevin Hogan is less underrated as a quarterback or overrated as a quarterback than Hulk Hogan is.
The way you said that confused me for a second. I don't know where the
mouth words memory comes. Hulk Hogan sucks, and so does your take on Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh, stop that.
Chat, get him.
What?
He is throwing shade at Stone Cold Steve Austin for the second day in a row.
Greatest gimmick the WWE ever created. Give him credit for that.
But you don't give him credit. And you know what? That doesn't count. So fuck you.
Of course I do. He created it. He's the one that did it.
Yeah,
the whole Austin
316
said, "I just whipped your ass" thing is the greatest line ever delivered, and he didn't. He just came off the dome piece.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
But you said he was overrated yesterday. You're not getting away from that.
As a wrestler, he was overrated.
Yeah, you're wrong.
As an entertainer, he's the second best of all time.
Michael Whiteside. We now have 3 tied at 2.
Minus $1 billion. I get minus $1 billion for my Stone Cold take. That's fine. That's fine. You could be wrong. And
no,
you are.
No, you're wrong.
Nah.
No, Colonel Sanders, you're wrong.
That's right. Number 17? Or do you have anything else to say about the Dolphins?
No.
Okay. The Philadelphia Eagles are at 17. This is still a team that I believe they got a great shot to make the playoffs. The problem is, one of the games that you were supposed to win this past week, you didn't.
You already lost.
Right.
And I won't be shocked if you lose another one.
You were supposed to beat the Giants, and I don't know what happened. I do know what happened. Nick Sirianni happened.
Nick Sirianni sucks.
You keep saying we can't fire NFL coaches after 1 year. I'm really coming close to him, too.
Again, you're doing that thing. I'm going to start calling you not my current wife, but the show wife. Because you're taking what you want me to have said and you're changing the words to make it not what I said.
Okay, what did you say?
You can fire a coach in a year. You can fire a coach in a game if you want to. Mm-hmm. Nobody does. There's a reason for that. By the way, you remember that? You remember that thing I said about Ed Orgeron? Had they not done that, Lincoln Riley would be the head coach at LSU right now. We're going to talk about that this afternoon on ESPN.
Okay.
He had agreed. That was not
Lincoln
bullshit.
Riley. Yeah.
That was not bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not that you can't, it's that teams don't, and they shouldn't.
Philadelphia Eagles need to figure it out because you do have a playoff spot in your grasp. You got the Jets, the Washington football team twice, the Giants, and you end the season with the Dallas Cowboys.
And here's the fun thing about the Philadelphia Eagles. They could lose every game you just said.
Sure.
They could lose every single one of them.
Mm-hmm. Because of their coaching.
It would not shock me.
Because of their coaching.
I think they're going to beat the Jets this weekend. Mm-hmm. After that, could they reel off 4 straight losses? Yep. Could they go undefeated against the schedule?
Yes.
Yep. None of that would surprise me.
Nope.
But now I'm not as dogmatic on them as I was because now I've seen you lose a game that you weren't supposed to.
Mm-hmm. I am expecting this team to have 8 wins, at least. That's the floor for me. It's a solid 8, possibly more. And it's that possibly more territory where you go, yeah, there's a real shot that they could. Would I be shocked to see Minnesota lose a game that they're not supposed to and Philadelphia jump them in the race for that 7 seed? Not at all. Wouldn't shock me one little bit. And we could still complain about both coaches at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
At number 16, top half of the league.
Ta-da!
The Los Angeles Chargers. Again, another team that has fallen mightily. I don't think they're good. I mean, I love their pieces. I love their players. I just there's something about them that's just they're not getting it done like they were earlier in the season. They made a believer out of me, and now I'm starting to see the season wear on. The flaws are coming more and more clear, and they're just not there yet.
They're not. They're missing a piece. Here's a fun stat that I've always looked at because it's very telling as to who you are. Point differential. The Buffalo Bills are 7-4. The LA Chargers are 6-5. Right. The Buffalo Bills are plus 144. The Chargers are minus 20. That tells you a lot. By the way, how many teams in the NFL have a better point differential than the Buffalo Bills?
None. Just one.
The Arizona Cardinals are plus 108. The Bills are plus 144. And one team is plus 146.
The Ravens?
Nope.
No.
The Ravens are plus 23.
Really? I thought they'd be bigger.
They win a lot of close games.
No.
The New England Patriots are plus 146.
God. That's crazy to think about.
Mm-hmm. What that means is that you beat the hell out of the teams that you beat the hell out of.
Oh, yeah.
You don't let teams hang around.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Whiteside said, "You're drunk. What's in his cup?" I don't know, but I've seen that cup about 406 times.
What, this one?
Yes.
Just water.
Why is it so cloudy?
So it's got this electrolyte mix-in thing in it. It makes the water have a little bit of flavor, but it also gives you, all your potassium and magnesium and stuff. Don't worry, you should start drinking these too. Doctor said so.
Mm-hmm. I drink a ton of water with lemon.
With lemon, okay, all right. Why am I drunk? I'm drunk on what?
You just are.
Oh, okay.
It's actually how you stay.
I mean, pretty much. See, the idea is you have to have a base buzz throughout the entire day, and you just roll with it.
You're not getting any rejection from me.
We are at number 17, or no, number 15.
If you say every number between 1 and 32, you have to be right.
I'm gonna hit it eventually.
It's 15.
15. We're at number 15. The Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings are competitive with every team that they play. Can they win the close ones? Can they win on prime time? That's going to be a big question. Coming down the stretch of this season, Kirk Cousins really that bad in prime time? Because they got 2 of them coming up. One of them, I don't think there's a shot in hell that they lose because they're playing the Chicago Bears.
The Chicago Bears. I mean, look.
But before
I look
that,
at Minnesota. You're 5-6. You still have games with the Lions, the Bears twice,
mm-hmm.
and a Rams team that I'm not as dead sold on. And you play the Steelers in Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of winnable games here. That's the team. I'm telling you right now, that is the team that everybody sees in the NFC competing for that 7th spot going, please don't. Please don't. Good Jesus, we don't want to play you.
Right.
Because they're a pain in the dick to play.
Mm-hmm. They've already played within a field goal of the Arizona Cardinals and the Green Bay Packers. They are a team that should scare somebody. And hope to God they don't make the playoffs.
I mean,
because they can match you offensively.
They had a lead on San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
They had outclassed San Francisco for a quarter and a half. Then it all pretty well came tumbling after. But this team's very good, and Kirk Cousins has played very, very well.
The Dalvin Cook injury is a little concerning.
Not really. Alexander Madison's good too.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's still a running back. Stop overvaluing running backs. Oh, but what will we do without Dalvin Cook? You'll hand the ball to Alexander Madison.
Yep.
At the end of the day, it's still way more important what Adam Thielen, Justin Jefferson, Kirk Cousins do. My question is, can you find anybody that can rush a quarterback? I mean, even
have
vaguely.
they been that bad?
Since Danielle Hunter went down, they have not been good.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes it difficult. They had a sack against San Francisco. I think they had 4 pressures in the entire game.
Mm-hmm.
And that will come back to bite you in the ass eventually. You can't do that forever.
It's a team.
They're so explosive offensively.
Yeah, they are a team that can manage 9 wins pretty solidly. I wanted to use the word easy there, but nothing is easy with the Minnesota Vikings. Everything has to be the hard way. But they will make the playoffs, I believe.
Let's go. Matthew Hoffman and Jason Trump.
At number 14 in this week's Power Rankings.
I want to see how long you dance sitting here not knowing who it is.
I'm going to give you a second to hit the button now. Okay, thank you. Indianapolis Colts at number 14. We just start going by my Power Rankings. The Indianapolis Colts at 14. You know, they gave it their best shot against the champs this past week. And they just couldn't they just couldn't close it out.
This team's still very, very good.
Of course they are. And scared the holy hell out of me for 3.5 quarters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Still got a game with the Texans. Still got a game with the Jaguars. All right, so you're going to get to 8 wins. I think to make the playoffs, you're going to have to steal. They play the Raiders at home, so that's probably a win.
Mm-hmm.
So you're probably going to get to 9. You're going to have to steal either a game with the Patriots in New England on Thursday Night Football, or you're going to have to go to the Arizona Cardinals and beat them on Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it's at. Or you will be exactly what I said you were going to be 8 weeks ago, the best team that the schedule just fucked you and you didn't hit your stride until the wrong time.
Yep. Jonathan Taylor's a beast, though.
He is good at the footballs. I don't know if that's breaking news to anybody, but Jonathan Taylor is very, very good at the footballs.
Yep. And that's the weird thing. Through 3 quarters, he had been nullified by the Tampa Bay defense. And then he scored the touchdown. I think he had like 50-something yards in the fourth quarter alone. Because at one point he was 8 carries for 25 yards. And then they were able to turn it on. It eventually, the passing game was good enough because of that Tampa Bay secondary being so bad that Carson Wentz was able to keep him in the game, and Jonathan Taylor tried to put it away. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for them in the 38-31 loss. At number 13, it's the LA Rams. My, oh my. 3 losses and how you can feel differently about a team.
And here's the thing. Tell me who they're supposed to be in front of. Tell me who's not on that screen that I'm supposed to put them in front of.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do it.
I can't either. He came in saying, you're going to be shocked at how low I have the LA Rams this week. And I went, I don't think so, because I just did my power rankings, and they're at 13. He came up with 13, too. This is, again, we say it every week. Go through and look at the two teams and go neutral field, the way they're playing right now. Which one would you favor?
Michael Whiteside, Stephen Tao, Kevin Vick. The first triple play that you basically all three said loosely the same thing. Whiteside for the setup, and then the turn to Vick and Tao.
Nice. The Rams have a real problem. Matthew Stafford is turning the ball over. They're not being, you like using the word multiple. They're not being multiple enough. They're dropping back too much. There's no play action. They're not running the ball. This is just a one-dimensional offense. Mm-hmm. And it's Detroit all over again.
It's Detroit all over again.
It's Matt Stafford in Detroit all over again, where everything is on Matt's shoulders to make the big play, and he's not making the plays.
Well, here's the thing. This is what I've yet to hear anybody say about the Los Angeles Rams. Michael Whiteside asked if you were going to get a Jeremy rant before this was over. Yeah, and it's going to come right here. This is the thing that nobody wants to talk about with the Rams. All right, so you have Sean McVay, who already thinks he's the smartest person in the room. So there's not a lot of audible from what he wants to do. Well, you made a concession because Matthew Stafford is not good on the boot. He's not good in play action. So now you've taken away one of the tenet elements of this offense. And now it's like a power struggle of who's going to win this out. Because offensively, there's no misdirection here whatsoever. You don't have that guy that can just win one-on-one outside of Cooper Kupp. And so now it's one injury, and it's all come tumbling after. All of it. Mm-hmm. Robert Woods goes down, and it changes the entire offense. And then you look at who they play moving forward, and I don't see who it is that they're supposed to beat. I mean, look at the Rams' schedule. Be really honest with yourself.
Yep.
All right, you play the Jaguars this week.
Done.
There you go.
Easy.
You play the Seahawks. Look at the other four.
Mm-hmm.
At the Cardinals, at the Vikings, at the Ravens, in with the 49ers.
And that gives you 9 wins at least. And you're in the playoffs.
Not necessarily. 9 wins does not necessarily, because here's the thing. This is what you have to remember. How many wins are they going to have against the AFC? It's the Colts, the Texans, and the Jaguars.
Okay.
That's a copious amount when you only play 5 games. So they're going to lose conference alignment to conference tiebreaker to a lot of these teams.
Mm-hmm.
It is not as out of the realm of possibility that the Rams don't make the playoffs. You better figure it out fast. The good thing is you've got a game this week that you should figure it out pretty quickly.
No,
but you're going to have to carry that.
Yeah.
Because I don't think you're beating any of those other teams. I struggle to believe you're going to go into Minnesota and, all right, so you put Jalen Ramsey on Justin Jefferson. What the fuck are you going to do with Adam Thielen?
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to do with Conklin? What are you going to do with Dalvin Cook? Or Alexander Madison? Whatever the case may be. And who do you have that scares them? They're going to put Patrick Peterson on Cooper Kupp. And then what? Hope, Van Jefferson, and Odell Beckham. This offense is coordinated like an 8-year-old playing Madden.
Hope you hit the big plays down the field, and we're not going to run the ball.
No.
I don't understand it. There has to be a
they
play
just don't
calling
do it well.
shift.
The line's not very good. At the end of the day, the line's not good, and you don't have anybody to pull the top off the defense. Oh, Van Jefferson can do it every once in a while. Yeah, running in a straight fucking line. But that's all he can do.
But that's part of the problem right now. Like, teams are getting interior pressure against that offensive line. The one thing that you could do to help mitigate that is run play action, right? You want to get those offensive linemen moving side to side before they advance up the field. That's one of the perks of running a lot of play action, right?
I was not listening to anything you just said.
I was saying that the middle of their line, their interior line, is getting beat like a kettle drum right now.
Well, and that's the thing. Play action doesn't do much for that. What play action does, it slows down the edge rushers. Because I'm trying to think of one of them off the top of my head where you see exactly what play action does. It wasn't in the Rams game. There were a few of them over the weekend where you see pass rushers just barrel down.
Mm-hmm.
and that leads to wide open running lanes. Well, here's the thing. If I'm not worried about you running it, which they're not, because the interior of that line is getting eaten alive. So the interior of the line is not really why you do that. You're trying to slow down the hellhounds on the outside that make you have to step up into that interior pressure. They don't do that. And when they do run, it's very rarely off tackle. So what in the fuck are these edge rushers scared of? It's just, all right, let's just barrel down on every single play.
Right.
Then Stafford has to step up. You got a series of wide receivers here that do not run routes well. Van Jefferson's not a good route runner. He's a good 9-ball receiver. He's good with the ball in his hands. And then you got Cooper Kupp. He's shifty and can get open. Fucking phenomenal. Then you got Odell Beckham that doesn't know the playbook. Tyler Higbee that can get you 8 yards. You just don't have anything. The way this is set up, I don't know how you're supposed to fix this. McVay's answer would be go back to play action. The problem is Matthew Stafford might be the worst play action quarterback I've ever seen.
Really?
He's god awful. He doesn't do it well. He doesn't like to do it. He doesn't throw on the run well. I mean, I give you 40 reasons why this. But this is what I tried to tell you. When they traded for Matt Stafford, everybody told me I was an idiot. And, now he's an MVP candidate. He ain't that much better. He ain't that much better than Jared Goff was in this offense. He's just not. He's just not. He fits in this system like I fit into a ballerina outfit.
Right.
And I've said that from the jump. Evan Doyle said Jermaine Johnson was just named ACC Defensive Player of the Year.
You're welcome.
Fire them.
No. Not that stupid button.
Wow, winning.
Love Jermaine Johnson.
And see, this is what can happen for all SEC players who can't make it. Go to the ACC. You could win Defensive Player of the Year when you couldn't start for an SEC team.
You SEC people drive me crazy.
Tell me where I'm wrong. There were no lies in that.
I got news for you. That kid should have started on any team. And I look at Kirby Smart and go, you fucked that up. Maybe he didn't fit your scheme as well, but you fucked that up. That kid could help any team in America.
He's a good player. It's a good player. I'll give him that.
Goddamn, I hope Alabama beats you.
Why?
Just the
Why do you
level
want all this pain to come upon me?
Because you've gotten a little too big for your breeches, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, between Tampa Bay and Georgia, you have gotten just a little spacious in your khakis, and I'm getting pretty fucking sick of it. We need one good from up on high. We just need God to look at you and go, you calm the fuck down.
Well, sorry.
Oh, it's going to happen. And I will be here. I'll be there.
Oh, you're calling your shot now?
I'll be there.
You're calling your shot now. Alabama's going to beat Georgia.
I took Alabama plus 6.5. I didn't pick them to beat you, but I did take them plus 6.5.
Well, that's something.
I'm just saying when you get smote, and you will get smoten, your hubris comes shortly before the fall. And between Tampa Bay and Georgia, your hubris has gotten really aggressive.
Yes.
Kevin Vick.
What'd he say?
Says the guy who pulls for a team in both conferences. Yeah, suck shit.
Pulls for a team in both.
SEC and ACC.
Oh, the whole Tar Heel thing.
Yeah, pick
no,
a team.
It didn't work out. We're done with that.
Oh yeah, we're not. That one didn't work out. They suck.
Anyhow, LA Rams, you still say that you don't think they're going to make the playoffs.
I didn't say I didn't think they were going to make the playoffs. Again, you're putting words in my mouth. I said there is a possibility. It is a more real possibility than people think they're going to miss the playoffs.
Sure.
We penciled them in, or we pinned them in a long time ago, and I'm just not as convinced of that.
All right, next up on the power rankings, number 12, the Dirty Dozen.
Boop.
It's the Las Vegas Raiders.
Jeremy
Jeremy originally
Dallas Cowboys. You have to give some credence.
Absolutely. Jeremy originally had the Los Angeles Rams at 12, and then I went, "Are you sure? Are you sure the Raiders are not better at this point?"
And then when he said it, I went, if they played each other, I'd take the Raiders.
So I just want everybody to know that there was something good about the Raiders that came out of my mouth today.
Yes. And there was a time, and actually I had to say that out loud. How in the hell are you higher on the Raiders than I am?
Mm-hmm. You beat the Dallas Cowboys, you prove a little bit of something.
Here's what I need to see from Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot of Vegas fans that watch this show. I need you to consistently beat the teams that you should beat.
Mm-hmm.
Because here's the thing. If you do that, you make the playoffs. Because you should consistently beat the Washington football team. You should consistently beat the Cleveland Browns.
Mm-hmm.
You should consistently beat the Denver Broncos.
Mm-hmm.
And you should consistently beat the LA Chargers.
Yeah.
You should. Those are 4 games. If you lose one of them, you are most likely out of the playoffs because I do not see how you're going to go to Kansas City or to Indianapolis and beat them.
Yep.
And there's so many teams in this mishmash of bullshit in the AFC that if you lose games you're not supposed to, it's going to go poorly for you. If I had to pick a team right now to be the 7 in the AFC, I would take the Las Vegas Raiders.
I want to take the Indianapolis Colts because I think the Indianapolis Colts are better.
I wouldn't disagree with that, honestly.
The problem
if the Colts played the Raiders schedule and the Raiders played the Colts schedule, I think they would look strikingly similar.
Yes.
Problem is, they don't.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. It's a 3-team race for the 7 seed in the AFC for me. It's the Indianapolis Colts, the Los Angeles Chargers, Las Vegas Raiders. I know technically others are in that mix, but to me, those are the 3 teams that should be there at the end of the season fighting out for that spot.
And I wouldn't disagree with that in any way.
Mm-hmm.
But another thing you got to remember, you're not going to get those layup games that you're used to because there's so many teams that are still in it.
Mm-hmm.
Kelvin Joyner said if we can finally be done with the distractions, we should win enough for a playoff spot.
Bingo. Agreed. And then you'll be fodder for whoever you play.
Stephen Tuggets. I'm a big fan of puns. Why are we still on the Colts? Literally beating a dead horse.
Oh.
Slaughtered that horse on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Afraid she's starting to turn.
Why are we still on the Colts? Because they're a good team. Damn it.
Kevin Vick, God almighty, I want to give this.
You just racking up all the points
I'm not
today.
going to repeat it, but you can say it in the chat.
Well, now you have to keep talking so I can go read it.
He's going to see it, and he's going to laugh like a middle school girl when he sees it. Yep. There it is. I told you. Patrick Holt said give Kevin Vick those tickets because you might not be wrong.
Kevin Vick, you want to go see Wake Forest in Pittsburgh?
You want to go to the ACC championship game because right now you've got a nice little lead. There's a lot of people contending. I feel like a lot of you are going to get entries to Vegas today.
Oh yeah,
but yeah, Kevin Vick's. We should come up with a player of the game screen.
Yes,
that is God, I'm smart for like 4 minutes a day.
Mm-hmm.
Usually off the cuff in the middle of something when I can't actually do anything about it.
And then the problem is we both forget about it later.
Yeah, but we have Amy now, who doesn't forget shit.
That is true. Write that down. Write that down, Amy. We need to remember to do player of the game. She doesn't have to write it down.
She just remembers everything. Thankfully, I don't fuck up a lot because she forgets nothing.
Mm-hmm.
She remembered our Christmas tree had a remote. I still do not ever remember this remote, and I don't think I've ever used it.
That's bougie. Remote for your Christmas tree?
By the way, if
you don't have to break your back to bend down to unplug the damn thing.
By the way, since there's a lot of dudes that watch this show, ask your wife about what a Pinterest is, for one. And 2, ask about the Amazon trick. There's an Amazon trick that I actually think could take down capitalism. And it works. I've watched it work multiple times.
Huh.
It could bankrupt the country if enough of us figure it out at the same time. You don't have to pay for anything from Amazon, ever.
What?
Ask your wife. I guarantee you she knows.
Okay. You just buy something and then use it and then return it?
Bingo. And you know what they do? 9 times out of 10, they go, you don't have to send the item back. It's fine. We just gave you a refund.
Really?
What kind of socialist bullshit is that? Like that? And it works. Time and time and time again.
All right, then.
I'm telling you, the birds heard me say that. They're coming for me. Yeah, because
Back to the birds.
I've 100%, because they're sitting out there on the power line just looking at me going, gosh. He knows. The big ginger knows.
Mm-hmm. All right, next up on the power rankings.
Oop, wrong button.
It's the San Francisco 49ers at 11. This is where I had the 49ers in my power rankings as well. It's hard to argue. It's hard to argue with a team on a hot streak.
Of agreement from here on out.
Oh, yeah. We will be off no more than 1 or 2 spots on any team. Well, we are off, I think, a couple of spots on the team, and you could probably guess which team that is. But yes, the next team is the San Francisco 49ers. Make your case.
I've been on this team for a long time. A long, long time. And now we're there. Debo, all right, so you're gonna have Debo for a week or two.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know who they play in those 2 games?
The Seahawks and the Bengals.
That Bengals game is less than ideal, but if it carries into a 3-week, it's the Falcons. You're going to win 2 of those 3 games by being clinically alive.
Mm-hmm.
That puts you at 8-6, finishing up with at the Titans, the Texans, and at the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
This team's making the playoffs, and they are going to be hell when they're well when they do. I'm telling you right now, your Tampa Bay Buccaneers do not want to play this team.
No.
They don't, because they do everything that fucks with you.
Mm-hmm.
Every single thing that screws with you, they can do it.
Yep. They got a great tight end. They got shifty receivers. That could be the end of the run. You win the South, you get the 3 seed, and holy shit, now we got to play the San Francisco 49ers.
Oh, hell. We got here, and now we have to play this team that's pissed and didn't start well.
Yeah, and the only thing at that point you can hope for is Tom Brady needs to pull some midday magic, because hopefully that game ends up as a 4 o'clock game before Tom Brady's bedtime, and it's going to be at home. So you feel okay about that.
And here's the other thing I'll tell you about San Francisco before we move on. They haven't even figured out how to use Trey Lance yet.
Yeah.
And they're gonna. You mark my words, they're gonna.
You think they go whip that out in the playoff run?
Oh, 100% I do.
Do some goal line packages?
This is the same coach that just figured out his best receiver is best suited playing out of the backfield. You don't think they have a package where you go, what is happening?
What are they going to do?
I swear to you, I have this in my head, and maybe I'm a crazy person. I see a package where Trey Lance and Jimmy Garoppolo are both under center. Are both on the field,
yeah.
And neither one of them's under center.
Mm-hmm.
And what the fuck do you do? As a defense, you just look at each other and go,
No, what do they
wait.
Are you saying they line up like side by side and you don't know who the snap's going to?
No,
what are you
I'm
talking
saying
about?
they're not under center, and Deebo Samuel is. Because
Oh my
Deebo Samuel
God.
has a hammer arm.
Does he really?
Yes. I'm just telling you. I'm not telling you. I'm just telling you. Because as somebody that has really always been more of a defensive guy than I am offensive,
No.
I would look at that and go, Coach,
What is that?
please, what's happening? I'm through talking now.
That could be scary.
Yep.
San Francisco is a team nobody wants to fuck with going into the playoffs. Next, it's the Tennessee Titans at number 10. I had them at 9 this week. 10 feels a little gross to me, but this is a team I talked about yesterday in the bless or mess discussion. It's a mess right now, but they're going to be blessed later on when their injuries take care of themselves.
And here's the thing. You have to have an element of where they're at right now. Mm-hmm. This is where Tennessee is at right now.
Yep.
Am I saying this is where they're going to be a month from now? No, I'm not. Derrick Henry comes back. The team gets healthy. You stop seeing so much Ryan Tannehill.
You jump 5 spots in the power rankings.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's where they're at right now, but you're going to win the division.
Mm-hmm.
Just period. You're going to win this division. So, this team gets healthy, and they're very, very scary in the playoffs. But for right now, they're at about 10.
Yep.
Just who you are. You're hurt. You're killed. But there's not a lot to analyze here. Oh, they lost to New England. Okay. If New England and Tennessee play each other in the playoffs, I'm probably still going to take Tennessee.
Mm-hmm. Same team the Jets beat.
Yeah.
Yay.
And they had an opportunity to punch it in and make this a real game, and Tannehill threw a terrible interception.
Yeah. Well, the Patriots are on a hell of a run. Mm-hmm. But
we haven't said the Patriots yet.
No, but I mean, a win over a hurt Tennessee team doesn't really go, oh, yeah, they're the greatest.
It does not a season make.
Nope, it does not. Cincinnati Bengals at 9. I had them at 10 this week. And I'm starting to think, yeah, maybe I was wrong on that. Maybe Cincinnati, I should have them ahead of the Tennessee Titans, but they're terrifying offensively.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
I mean,
this offense is so hard to stop.
Right. Joe Mixon has been on a tear lately.
And
Joe Burrow's just damn good.
And here's the thing. We looked at this schedule several weeks ago and went, gosh, they're going to have to prove it. Do you know when we did that? After they lost to the Browns. And I said, I kind of feel like that was an aberration.
Mm-hmm.
You know what they've done since then? Scattered, smothered, and covered the Raiders in Las Vegas and beat Pittsburgh to death.
Mm-hmm.
Play the Chargers this week. I like you. Play the 49ers in a week. Not as much. That one's damn close to me.
Where?
It's in Cincinnati. At Denver. I like you.
Yep.
Baltimore in Cincinnati. Well, you already beat the hell out of them in Baltimore.
Yeah, it ain't going to happen again.
Then you get the Chiefs. I don't know what I think would happen there.
Mm-hmm.
You play at the Browns.
Fun shootout game.
This team could win this division, and you keep poo-pooing that, and I think that is insane.
I just think Baltimore stays ahead of them.
Well, here's the thing. They have the tiebreaker.
Mm-hmm.
They are going to have the tiebreaker against Baltimore. One way or the other, they're going to have the tiebreaker. So they've already beaten Pittsburgh twice, and and Baltimore still has them played twice, and I don't think they can beat them both times. That's it. That rivalry is just different. I'm not saying that they're not better than Pittsburgh. I'm just telling you, you have a 1-game advantage here, and my schedule is a hell of a lot prettier than yours is.
I can understand that. I still think they're the better team. I think it'll be a 1-game
I obviously
spread
do
between
too.
the two of them.
Have I put Baltimore on the screen yet?
No.
I obviously think Baltimore is the better team.
Right.
However, I think you're in a much better spot. And good Lord, if they wind up with any form of home field advantage, having to go into Cincinnati, good Lord.
All right, we are into the top 8 of the Week 13 Power Rankings.
Number 8.
The New England Patriots.
I can't have them any higher than this.
Yeah, but you also can't have them any lower than this.
That was the alternative of what I was getting ready to say.
Right, and this is the thing. This is where they're at. They are a solid football team that is just going to punch people in the mouth. The Bill Belichick way. It's a thing. All right? People who wanted to downgrade Bill Belichick in the Patriot way, it still exists. And they found a guy who can run it. And it's Mac Jones. He is the franchise quarterback for the New England Patriots. Mm-hmm. He's everything they wanted. Well, they might have wanted him to be a little bit more, but he's everything they needed him to be. Mm-hmm. And now I'm not going to go out on a limb and say that this is the next dynasty or anything like that.
No, it's not.
This is a solid football team that's going to win a lot of games, and they'll be perennial playoff contenders as long as Bill's still around, as long as those – they still have that edge. But I still don't think they can win a Super Bowl.
I don't either. They got a lot of benefits from the schedule, which seemingly Bill gets every year. Why am I surprised anymore after 20 fucking years of by the way, one of the craziest stats you'll ever hear in your life. Do you realize that in the 20 years or how many years that Brady was in New England, they had the easiest schedule in the NFL 4 separate times? Mm-hmm. They were in the top 5 of easiest schedule 9 times. Now, granted, that's because your division was dog shit, but it is stunning how many breaks they have gotten scheduling-wise in the last 20-some-odd years.
Right. You took care of business in the first game of this tough 4-game stretch with the Tennessee Titans, but there again, the injuries played into. That was an easier game than it should have been. At full health, that would have been a much different game. Now you got to go to Buffalo. Now it's prove-it time. You're going up against the team that we believe is going to win this division, and you got to play them twice. And you got the Indianapolis Colts, who are bloodthirsty for a playoff spot in between the two of them.
Matthew Hoffman asked in the comments, thoughts on Stephen A. Smith saying this is one of Belichick's greatest seasons. I would take out the one of. This is his greatest season. It's not, and to me, it's not close. Mm-hmm. It's not even in the ballpark because this is the first time you didn't have Tom.
Even
this
in the Matt
is the
Castle
one
year.
season where you still had that team. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's still a team that was built around Tom. This was a team that was built around Cam Newton and Mac Jones. This is insanely impressive.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, I just don't buy it. I don't buy that you have that next gear. First of all, rookies are notoriously bad in the playoffs. And I just know what the path to beating this team is.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it. I physically witnessed a team do it, and I'm once you see it, you can't unsee it. And it's you get behind. Let me see New England get behind, and then let's see how that goes. Because I don't think it's going to go your way. When the onus has to be put on Mac Jones, that's going to be a problem. And there are a slew of teams: the Baltimore Ravens, the Buffalo Bills, the Cincinnati Bengals, the Kansas City Chiefs, to a point, the LA Chargers, Las Vegas Raiders. I keep doing this. Where, you know what, if the game is put on the quarterback's shoulder, I firmly believe you can win it. I don't believe that out of Mac Jones. I don't. I watched tape on this kid at Alabama until my eyes were ready to bleed. And you know what I've never seen? I've never seen him be the best player on the field. I have seen him disperse the ball to elite weapons in college, and now I've seen him run Bill's offense. Let me see what happens when a team puts your feet to the fire and says, you know what, we're going to stack 8 in the fucking box. You're not going to run on us. You're not going to run Damian Harris on us. You're not going to run Ramondre Stevenson on us. Now it's on you, McCorkle.
Yep.
And I don't think he can do it.
I don't think he can either.
But
This team gets behind.
Said, that gives you that gives you a ceiling of 12-5, and you go into the playoffs and lose.
Yeah,
that's better than a vast majority of teams in the league.
Yeah, this team gets out. A team gets out to a fast start against New England. I don't have faith that they can come back and win.
And see, that's the problem, is that I actually think they could get blown out that way. I think Kansas City, they have to go to Kansas City. Pat Mahomes hits 2 early touchdowns because nobody can deal with Tyreek Hill or Travis Kelce or whatever the case may be. And now you're in trouble.
Now you start chasing points and putting it on the rookie's shoulders, and what's going to happen? You're going to see
I think people are getting duped by the.
Yeah.
To me, if you have New England any higher than 8, you're getting duped. You're getting duped by Bill, because I can't, like he said when we started this, I can't have them any lower, but I can't have them any higher either.
Nope. Number 7, it's the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, the Dallas Cowboys didn't do me any favors on Thanksgiving when they lost to the Las Vegas Raiders, because I wax poetic about how great the Dallas Cowboys are, and I poo-poo everything from the Las Vegas Raiders.
Well, and here's the thing:
the Raiders
you beat a team
something.
with, and yes, it was very impressive for the Raiders. Having no receivers, I mean, now what?
Right.
And this is what I was trying to tell you: is they'll lean on the running game. Will they though? But will they though? Without, this is my biggest drawback on the Dallas Cowboys. All right, so you go into a game on Thanksgiving against the Raiders. Who was the leading rusher for that Cowboys team in this game? And Dak Prescott had a fine game.
It's Tony Pollard, wasn't it?
How many yards he had?
70-something?
10 for 36.
Oh, God.
The fucking team didn't have 70 yards rushing. They rushed it 20 times for 64 yards.
Yikes.
This is the drawback of Kellen Moore. When in doubt, chuck it out. That's Kellen Moore philosophy. And you got Mike McCarthy that is not big dick in the locker room enough to go, no, we don't have any receivers. There's no CeeDee Lamb. There's no Amari Cooper. Our leading receiver was Michael Gallup and Cedric Wilson, of which they're fine, Gallup specifically. But that's not going to beat anybody in the playoffs.
No. But 4 weeks from now, they're going to be 11-4.
And that's the thing, is that when they're healthy, and this team has Amari and CeeDee Lamb. And by the way, can we stop with they may move off Amari Cooper because he didn't get vaccinated. And if they move off Amari Cooper, it's because he makes $20 million fucking dollars.
Vaccination status aside.
His relationship status means more than his vaccination status to his contract status. So I've heard that narrative as many fucking times as I'm going to hear it without going, hey, tell me you're an idiot without telling me you're an idiot.
Right. I mean, this offense is dangerous when fully healthy, and they're just a team you're not gonna want to see in the playoffs.
Derek Farrow said, I don't see how the Cowboys are ahead of the Bengals because there was a big gap between them last week. The Cowboys were in the top 5 last week for me. So them and I can't help but look at this and go, okay, you've lost 2 games here, and you didn't have any receivers. That's kind of a problem. I think at full strength, this team is still And this is not like Derrick Henry, hey, I fucked my knee up. This is, I've got super sniffles, or I am in the concussion protocol, and I'll be out of it in no time.
Mm-hmm.
Do I think they're close? Yeah. The Bengals start, if you look at the power rankings for me, the Bengals basically are actually I would say probably the Raiders. That top 12 is pretty close. They're all pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's not a tough question. I mean, Dallas and Cincinnati, they're
very similar.
It's not an out of bounds question.
No.
Should Cincinnati be ahead of them? Now I'm starting to think maybe they should.
No. I fully get why it was asked.
Mm-hmm.
For me, at full strength, I would still take Cincinnati, or I would still take Dallas.
Right.
Dallas's second receiver is Amari Cooper. And I like T. Higgins, but there's a difference between Amari Cooper and T. Higgins.
Agreed.
And there's just a few more things like that. But those teams are stupidly close.
Yep. Number 6, this is where the Buffalo Bills fall in for Jeremy. I got them at 5 this week. This is still a team that you have to believe in. Defense is still good. I get that they've had some issues recently. But this is not a team that is disappearing.
No, they've lost some games they shouldn't have.
They're 3-3 in their last 6, and I think they are going to go on a run here to prove that they are the best team in this division.
They're maddeningly inconsistent.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, they still have Josh Allen. They still have Stephon Diggs. I think they're figuring out how to run the ball. They embarrassed the Saints. I mean, that got hard to watch. And I'm not sitting here and telling you that I think New Orleans is a great team. I'm not even saying they're a good team, because they're not.
Mm-hmm.
But when you can physically embarrass teams, and they do that a lot. You've been called a couple times.
Monday Night Football this week's going to be fun.
Yeah, we finally have. Yeah, Monday night game that doesn't suck wieners. Can't wait.
Patriots at the Bills, Monday Night Football. It's going to be worth hanging around for. This is the caliber Monday night game we should have every week.
Agreed. And if ESPN didn't get screwed on what game they got every year, we can't flex it. Oh, fuck.
All right, the top 5 for Week 13 starts with the Baltimore Ravens. How can you count this team out? When you have Lamar Jackson, despite the fact that he looked awful the other night.
He was god-awful.
He couldn't be protected, and he made a lot of tough decisions. Mm-hmm. And Mark Andrews had to bail him out.
Mm-hmm. But that's the thing about this team. They can beat you multiple ways.
Yeah.
That's the reason they're ahead of the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys can beat you one way.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they could beat you more ways. They will beat you one way. Baltimore, I've seen them beat teams a litany of different ways. And the defense is getting better. The fact that you could physically impose your will on the Cleveland Browns, and I understand Jack Conklin got hurt in that game, and I get it. Jack Conklin lives hurt.
Mm-hmm.
The fact you could physically impose your will and there was nothing they could do about it. You threw 4 picks and still beat an NFL team. Mm-hmm. Do you know the last time that happened was 2015? Teams were 0-52 in games that they threw 4 interceptions.
Right.
Baltimore didn't. Now, was it a good team? No.
Still matters, though.
Still matters.
Still matters that you can overcome your worst game of the season and still beat a division rival.
The number of people that bail on this Ravens team is dumbfounding to me.
Mm-hmm. Next, they got 2 road slates with the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. You got the Packers, but you get them at home.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go to the Bengals, which is going to be tough, but you've got the fire there to beat the hell out of them because they beat the hell out of you. And then you got the Rams and the Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
How is this not? I mean, they are going to stay in the running for number 1 seed.
Oh, absolutely. The bad thing is that they may very well be the 5 seed because they may not win this fucking division.
They could.
It's in the realm of possibility.
Don't look for
I'm
it to
not
happen,
telling you
but
that I'd say it's 50-50. At this point, I would say it's 50-50.
Okay.
If we did this 10 times, I would say the Bengals win this division 5 and the Ravens win it 5. And the Browns are at home with Baker Mayfield 10 out of 10 times.
Ain't no doubt about that. At number 4, it's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. the defense stepped up and made big plays when they had to. In a close game against a very good team. Beating the Indianapolis Colts this past week was kind of a statement of we're not just going to, we're not just going to fall into the playoffs. We're going to beat good teams.
Here's the unsettling part to me.
Mm-hmm.
You give up a ridiculous amount of points.
Yep.
You're going to beat the Falcons. You'll beat the Falcons this week.
Mm-hmm.
There's really not much to this schedule. You're probably going to be the 1. If you're not the 1, you'll be the 2 in the NFC. You can't count this team out.
Which means we'd end up having to play the friggin' Vikings. And that's going to be a playoff game for the ages.
I would be okay with that.
Yeah. I mean, that's a game that I could fully see being there's 2 minutes left on the clock. Kirk Cousins has the ball, and he's down by 7. He ties it with 48 seconds left, and now we have to see if Tom Brady can pull some magic out of his ass. I could very well see that game happening because that's the kind of team that Tampa Bay is. We're going to allow a lot,
and here's
but we're also going to try to shut the door on
it. It all falls back on Tom.
Mm-hmm. Of course,
and that's always unsettling to me. If you think about what I just said about Baltimore, they can beat you multiple different ways.
Mm-hmm.
Tampa Bay really cannot beat you multiple different ways. But we got Lenny Fournette that scored 4 touchdowns. I don't have a word other than aberration for that.
Okay.
He'd never done it in his career.
A 4-touchdown game?
He had never done it. Not one time.
Mm-hmm.
So you get into the playoffs, it's 100% on Tom. And I just don't think that defensively this team has so many limitations that I look at it and go, how in the hell do I think you're going to stop in a let's go 3-game round robin of the NFC playoffs of what it would take for you to get to the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to beat Kirk Cousins, Kyler Murray, and Aaron Rodgers with that defense.
Mm-hmm.
I don't buy it. I don't buy it, and I think one of those games is going to be on the road.
Yeah.
And I don't buy it.
I don't either. I don't buy it either.
I think outside of being a homer, it would be hard to buy. I really do.
Oh, of course.
Now, do they have the talent? Yeah, they've got all the talent you could ever want.
But here's the thing. I doubted it last year, too. That's the thing that I keep coming back to was I doubted that. I didn't have much doubt about the Washington game in the playoffs. But were you really going to go and beat Drew Brees in his own house?
I never worried
next
about
week?
It was Greene. The only game that you won in the playoffs that really stunned me was the Super Bowl. But beating Rodgers loses. That's what he does. He loses in the NFC Championship game. That one didn't stun me. It surprised me.
Right. It's surprising. But that's the thing. I didn't think it was going to happen to begin with. I didn't think you were going to go to New Orleans and beat them after they had just beaten you twice in the regular season. Didn't think you were going to go to Lambeau Field and beat Aaron Rodgers in his own house in the NFC Championship game, despite the fact that's what he does.
Kevin Vick, the way to cheer is against Tom. That's the only way to cheer. You always root against evil.
Always root against evil.
You always root against evil.
What did he say he had a problem with?
He said, would Tom go away if he gets knocked out in the first round, or would he come back for another Super Bowl trying to figure out how to cheer? You always root against evil.
So root for us to win the Super Bowl. I think that's the best shot you got of him retiring.
Yeah, you always root against evil. Losses. All the losses.
All the losses. Tampa Bay Buccaneers were my 2, but I'm a homer, so what can we say?
Of course you are.
At number 3, it's the Kansas City Chiefs.
They went down a spot solely because Green Bay was so impressive.
Mm-hmm. You moved Green Bay up to number 1 this week.
I moved Green Bay up a lot.
Arizona stayed at 1 for me. I have Arizona 1, Tampa 2, Kansas City 3, Green Bay 4.
Kansas City in play, so there's not a lot to talk about with Kansas City, but the offense is still terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
There is no team in the NFL that I am more curious how the last 6 games of this season go than the Kansas City Chiefs. There's not one. There's not one team in the NFL that I feel as optimistic about, but you could convince me otherwise very, very quickly.
Yeah, but are we sure?
That defense falls back into the same bullshit that they were a month ago. I will bail water on that in a heartbeat.
But are we sure that the offense has turned around?
Yes.
We just saw
I feel fine with the offense.
Okay. I was going to say, we just saw the Las Vegas Raiders put up more points on the Dallas Cowboys than they were able to in their game. And, I just still have my concerns.
Well, that game was also outside and cold as shit.
I understand all
The
those
Raiders
things.
game was in Jerry World, so
I understand all those things.
you got to have all the bases there. But Kansas City is the most intriguing team moving forward to me.
Agreed. Kansas City at number 3. Number 2 this week is the Arizona Cardinals. They had the bye week. They are what they are. Kyler Murray coming back now should terrify everybody. He's posting Thanos memes on his Twitter account.
And he's rested.
Yeah. He's ready to go. And this offense is going to be hell on wheels, I'll say that, for everybody to contend with at the top of the league. That's why I still have them number 1. It's by a fraction, but they're still number 1. And then you got Green Bay. They went out and beat the LA Rams this week. Told you they were going to do that. You don't beat Aaron Rodgers in Lambeau Field coming off a loss. It just doesn't happen. And the Rams found out this week. Fuck around, you're going to find out.
Yeah, I mean, Green Bay is a terrifying team.
Mm-hmm.
The defense is really impressive. Now having 2 running backs with A.J. Dillon as a threat to catch out of the back. They're both multi-talented running backs, Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. Seeing guys step up in this last game other than Devontae Adams should be terrifying to the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, one of my favorite stories of the week was Odell Beckham really wanted to go to Green Bay, but they wouldn't give him more than the vet minimum. Why would you possibly give him more than that? Culture. That's the word of the week.
Culture.
That's the word of the day, kids.
Aaron Rodgers' toe makes me feel uneasy. And Ronnie George, good for you. Forget the fucking toe, okay? It doesn't matter. Aaron Rodgers
matters.
Aaron Rodgers is he's still at the top of his game.
And by the way, Aaron, if we could not go full, orthopedic surgeon appointment with your foot up on, it's gross. It's gross.
Mm-hmm. Keep your feet to yourself. We just want to hear the words. We don't need to see it. We don't need to see what's going on down there.
I was going to put my foot on my computer monitor, but I didn't. I'm not going to promise it's not going to happen, but
yeah, please don't do that.
It's not going to happen right now.
Yeah, please don't do that. Kevin Vick, I think those are points.
Where?
As long as he wears a mask, his toe will be okay.
All right, I am officially I am ready to declare winners of the day.
All right, winner of the day, player of the day.
I feel like we have a 2-way tie for player of the day, and it's Stephen Tao and Kevin Vick.
Speaker of the House. That's what we call it. I think Kevin Vick said that a couple of weeks ago, and we forgot.
Those are the two today.
Today's speakers of the House.
We had a slew that were very close. Michael Whiteside was very close. He deserves honorable mention.
Mm-hmm.
Several others. Jason Trump, Adam Black. They all deserve honorable mention. But the no doubt, 2 players of the day, or speakers of the House today,
there you go,
are Kevin Vick and Stephen Tao.
All right, congratulations.
That gives you an entry into the Vegas contest. Be sure to share these videos out, share things when we put them on social media. They will all get you entries into this contest.
Mm-hmm.
I have facilitated a third-party app that is keeping track of all these things. There's going to be a lot of Stephen Tao's trying to win outright. He just said, I don't want to be called Speaker of the House till that title holds respect again.
It does here. This is the one place on earth where that title can mean something.
Yep. Kevin Vick would be the official winner because he did have one more than Stephen Tao, but they were all a solid point ahead of everyone else.
Who's the Democrat now? Sorry, I did a politics I'm not supposed to.
Who's the Democrat? Boop boop.
Look at you with your participation trophies.
Let's go, Brandon.
We will be with you this afternoon at 3 o'clock on ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. We appreciate everybody being in the chat with us here. Don't forget, we got tickets available for the ACC Championship game Saturday night at 8 o'clock at Bank of America Stadium. Thanks to Patrick Holt, who cannot use the tickets or just will not use the tickets because his team didn't make it. But he has generously bestowed them upon us to help get these seats filled because you don't want the tickets to go to waste. So if you want to go to Charlotte this weekend, look on social media for the guideline on how we're going to be giving that away. We'll do that this afternoon on the ESPN Asheville show. I'm Tank Spencer. He's Jeremy Greene. This has been your Week 13 Power Rankings in the NFL, and we will see you next time.